I'd like to welcome everyone to the Challenge All-Stars Rivals.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Right Reality Podcast. My name is Mixie.
Hi, everybody. My name is Steven. Welcome to the number one, the Right Reality Podcast. Oh, goodness gracious. We're back again, Mix. Hi, how's it going? Nice to see you.
It's great to see you, too. We are back for episode 3 of All-Stars Rivals. Drum roll. Rivals in the rough. We are on a downhill trajectory. I think this is worse somehow.
Oh, it is? This is worse than the last one?
I don't know. This is bad. This is bad. I saw it and I go, huh.
4 is looking lofty.
4 is looking lofty now. It is.
The Vegas line is moving to 2.5 now. I think the Vegas line has moved severely down to 2.5.
I feel more confident in 3 now than I do 4, but I said 4. So we also have one more episode until Melissa and Nicole hook up, according to my predictions and projections.
They can be both. They can be both. It's allowed.
I didn't like it. Rivals in the rough. Thoughts?
I didn't mind it. You know I like alliteration, so Rivals in the Rough was great. Although, what was rough? Where was the rough?
Yeah.
I think of, as a golf guy, I'm thinking of like longish grass.
Mm-hmm.
They were not in longish grass. There was no grass involved, as a matter of fact. There was no things about this is being rough, this is tough, this is anything. No, there was no rough. There was no rough.
It seemed like they have a list of good alliteration titles that they're just going to pull from when they can't really, some of these titles in the past, they've given us a little bit of insight, right? Mm-hmm. This is giving nothing.
Yeah. It seems like they have to shoehorn Rivals into the name.
Yeah.
Which I get, that's fine. But we go from the first one to Rivals on the Edge to now Rivals in the Rough. And I would have just liked a little, again, I'm trying to think of something in the moment dealing with his food poisoning situation or respiratory thing.
Yeah. I mean, this whole episode was just Anissa being a victim. So that would have been a better title.
Ooh. Rivals playing the victim? Is that what we could have done? Yeah.
Rivals reliving injuries?
Yeah. Rivals doing everything they always said they don't do. Pick
me rivals.
Ooh, Rivals. Pick me girls. Yeah. And it's just a season of Anissa hanging out of the house, not doing anything.
And Ashley just pissed about it.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. There's so much to get into. I will say the challenge part of this episode, meh. The rest of this episode, I'm talking the Diet Daily and the elimination, were meh. The rest of this episode, great.
Fire.
Great.
Absolutely.
We're really getting a good consistency here with All Stars this season.
I just want to start by saying, as much as I don't like the format like you discussed, for various reasons, I'm loving All Stars. I kind of wanted this to be the version of the show.
Yeah.
Because this is really good. We get the music, the comedy. Mm-hmm. Again, towards the end, they have to come back to the house and pack.
Yes.
And then leave.
Yes.
That's great.
Uh-huh.
So there's a chance if you lose, you can come back and berate the person and double bird them if they put you into the elimination and berate them. And then we set up the next episode as we're leaving, which is great. So I'm loving all of that. It just, we have previously on back again. So how does that not play into anything? And let me just say this. Since we're bringing back old things like previously on, I decided myself to bring back something that Mixie is not aware of, which I'm sure she loves. Look at her face. She loves this type of stuff. It gets her really nervous because she has no idea. But guess what, Mix? It's something good.
Yeah, you've said that before.
And what was the problem? Was it not something good? Did I not deliver?
The problem was that the oceans and the seas are the same thing. And the canals and the rivers are the same thing. I don't know. Just do it. Now my brain's going.
Here we go.
Hi, it's Mom LaFranc with my first take in a very long time. I love all versions of the challenge and watch them all. I am never usually critical of the show, but everyone should have known that the odds of any of these older challengers leaning over the side of a skyscraper was minimal. The producers knew once they had the lineup of the contestants, so many of them were deathly afraid of heights. Why waste the God knows how much money to set up this challenge on top of the building? Just add that money to the winnings, and let's keep to the carnival games for the All-Stars. Sorry, that's my take. Bye.
Mama Frank is back. We love that. And I want to just say right now, never apologize for your takes, Mama Frank. Never, ever, ever. I was piping hot tea, and you did not miss. There was not a single miss in that comment.
She doesn't miss.
I know, she doesn't. And she's right. It was a waste. It was an absolute waste.
Continuing on your thought of things being a waste, remember how you were really nervous? You wasted that nervous energy. And all it was Mama Frank.
Steven, you know that, like, if we look at everything that you've done to, like, surprise me, most of the time, I'm not enjoying it.
Most of the time, they've been good.
Agree to disagree.
Okay.
Anyways, let's get into this episode. We start with a previously on. I'm so glad Mama Frank's back, by the way. Amazing. Okay. Previously on. Steve pushing Adam into the pool. Terrible acting. But, you know, I don't want to complain. I'm going to start with this.
However, I am about to complain.
I'm going to complain.
Yeah, it's like what we said like last week. Like, you have to say you're not an alcoholic before drinking, or like this is not personal, and then
when
you
it's
do something
100%
personal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved the thing I really loved most about previously ons, at least the ones before, not all of them, but I think a good majority of them, when they were like on the flagship, especially, I feel like the camera crew, things were happening, fun things were going on, and the camera crew was like, hey, Devin, look at camera and say previously on the challenge. Like, while something naturally is happening, I've noticed, I think the Nani and Turbo, which I still feel like we didn't talk about enough, and this Steve and Adam thing, it's too set up for me.
Oh, okay.
I wish it was a bit more natural. Should I be complaining?
No,
because
No.
I got previously on back, and I should just take the cake that I was given.
You should take the win.
But the icing's not as good as it could be on the cake.
I think what you're doing is this is something that's happened so long ago, and you have such a very clear, great memory of previously on. And now it's just not, you don't believe it's the same level of previously on than it once before. So you're like, just don't. But here's the thing. I feel like some of them were set up at some point, which caused us to just do the most ridiculous guesses ever. And honestly, I feel like they expected that from us. They teased us. They go, hey, previously on his back, we're going to do some push-ups with the Nani, which we have officially declared that is her name moving forward.
The Nani. Yes, absolutely.
Nani. They gave us that, and then they're like, okay, the number one is going to be back into their crazy guessing ways. Let's do something crazy. What would be unexpected? What would they guess? They might guess that Adam and Steve would be poolside, and one of them is going to get pushed into the pool fully clothed, mind you.
Yep. And dry. That was one take.
One take. They had one shot.
Yep.
We're going to push this person in. And then somebody's going to be drinking from a coconut with two straws. Not one straw, two straws. And then we will get somebody in the background just giving the worst acting performance of all time.
Oh, terrible. I mean, she missed her cue.
Awful.
Then she realized she missed her cue, written all over her face. Then she tried to save it. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to try to do it. You ready? Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead. I think that you needed to wait like 2 or 3 more beats to miss the mark a little bit more clearly.
Yeah. See, I tried to be bad and I couldn't even be that bad.
It's tough, and Veronica crushed it. Do you want to do our guesses now for next episode? Or shall we wait till the end?
I think we shall wait to the end.
Let's wait to the end. And also, audience, we need you guys to be guessing previously ons in the comments section. I didn't see any last week. I was a little upset about it. I get it. You want to watch. You want to make sure that you're seeing what the algorithm of the previously on is. I personally feel I've already figured out one little bit. I'm going to decide at the end if I give you that information or not.
Gatekeeping. Interesting. Okay, continue.
Okay, so let's get into the episode.
Well, we also have to tell them at the end of this episode, we have some information about Temptation Island that is not to be missed.
We have to talk about Temptation Island. There's also some tea from the cast that we fully missed that was posted as well that we need to discuss. But we're going to wait until the end of the episode. So let's talk about the episode we watched, Rivals in the Rough. I died laughing when they put the Always Sunny music on Kellyanne bear walking outside.
Great.
An immediate start, an incredible start.
These episodes have been starting hot.
Yes.
Hot. We go previously on to partying immediately. And it's great. I love every second about it. This is what I want my challenge to be. He's just like going, like hacking, like he's got a glove, like he's a guy at a Mexican resort who does this for a living.
Yeah. It looks like that's like my dream, like nighttime party, themed parties. That's super fun, right? And everything's good. But like a day by the pool, drinking, hanging out, like getting a tan. Oh, that's my favorite. A day drink. The best.
She's a big day drinker.
Big day drinker.
Well, she's an equal opportunity drinker.
I'll drink. Honestly, just give me a drink. But
but it's preferred in the day. I'm not going to be like, ugh, I have to drink at night. I guess. No, fine. Great. Dandy.
I just think it's way more fun being drunk during the day because then you get home at like 5 or 6. You get drunk food earlier. And then you kind of like slowly become not drunk and fall asleep. And then by the time you wake up, your hangover is pretty much gone. Whereas if you party at night, you're drunk as fuck. Like you got the spinnies when you're going to bed. Then when you wake up, really all you've done is sleep through the rest of enjoying your drunk and waking up at the worst part.
Two things. One, I've never heard it called the spinnies, and I will never refer to it as anything other than the spinnies ever again. I love it so much. Number two, not medical advice from the number one.
Just personal reflection. Allegedly, I don't know what else I need to say to
not medical advice. The number one does not give medical advice. Please consult your doctor or physician. This is not medical advice.
That being said, I think that you get a better drunk when you're outside in the sun.
Also,
not medical
told
advice.
you should have bought banana coin. Everybody should have bought banana coin.
No, we're not discussing banana coin. Vetoed. No.
That motherfucker let's go back to drinking.
Shut it. No, we're moving on.
The drinking was great. You are now seeing a photo of Melissa drinking out of a blender.
I mean, everybody sleeps on Melissa, right? Like everybody does. She thinks she's a dumb blonde. Oh, she doesn't. She can't do it. Oh my gosh, that is being smart. That is being efficient with what you have in front of you.
Yes.
That is MacGyver. That is most people can't do that.
Now I'm feeling like you're saying this because you've done this.
100%.
And listen, I know you've done this because I found photographic evidence of this taking place. I have sent Mixie an image. It is now going to be on screen for everyone to see. Look at this image.
Stop. Okay, before I even look at this, you gotta stop. I'm gonna freak the fuck out if you keep doing shit like this to me. Oh, nice. The funny thing is, I think there is a photo of me on Facebook somewhere with that looks pretty much just like this. God.
The roller coaster that you just went. You gotta stop doing. Nice.
It's the I'm gonna send you something. You're on camera. You're being recorded, and I have no idea.
This is what makes the number one. This is why we're so great. You think this is happening on other 2-bit rate podcasts? No, people. This is what people are coming here for. They're coming for pure entertainment purposes, and sometimes we talk about the challenge.
Nice. I will give you full credit for that one.
I want a shirt that says "nice." You know what it's giving vibes of? It's giving vibes of the girl from Smosh who went viral because she's like, "That's not him. That's right." I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down.
Okay. Are you kidding? That's unfair. She made those. I need to calm down. Everything's fine.
Amanda.
I'm an adult.
I really thought you like dug deep because I'm sure that they exist. I'm sure they do.
I didn't have time to dig deep, but I was like, this feels like a Mix move. I feel like Mix did this. Let me do a quick, dirty Photoshop. I mean, find this photo.
Have you ever been to a anything but a cup party?
No.
It's kind of like the 7-Eleven thing where people, that day where it's like whatever container you bring in, you can fill it with for slushies.
Yeah.
It's like that, but you bring it to a party and you can only drink out of it. I did a traffic cone.
I'm assuming you
taped the tip.
Yeah, what did you put on the bottom?
I just taped the tip of the cone because it's that hole. So I taped it. Is this visual helping?
For all of the people at home that did not understand how... Keep going.
And I flipped it over.
Okay.
And the point part, there was a hole, and I covered it with tape.
Okay. It looks like you're doing something else with your hands.
I covered the bottom, and then I went in through the cone that's upside down, and I went...
That's the thumbnail right there. I'm telling you right now, that's the thumbnail for this week.
So the anything but a cup party is a good time. Highly suggest. And it's also very easy. It's not like you have to go buy a whole theme of things or anything like that. You just got to find something in your apartment that could be used as a cup.
We're going to talk about Temptation Island later. Could this be something on this season, Temptation Island, and anything but cup party?
I think that they won't do it because visually it's not that great, but as a party goer, fantastic time. Seeing what people bring to drink out of, a great time.
What else do you recall from that? Do you recall any other things that you were like, oh, that's an interesting...
Yes, there was an urn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they have to tape any part of the urn?
No, the urn was closed. They just took the lid off. It's not a cup, technically. I don't really remember. I think somebody brought a bong and drank out of the bong.
Hope it was a clean one. Jesus Christ.
Well, I hope all of these things were clean. I'm pretty sure I cleaned the inside of a traffic cone, but I don't know.
This makes me believe that you just had a traffic cone hanging out.
I woke up after, this is college, okay? So asterisks. But I did wake up one morning with a cone in my room. That previously was not in the room. Do I know where it came from? No. 2 weeks later, did I have an anything but cup party and need it? Yeah, it worked out, okay?
Kismet,
meant
everybody.
To be.
It was meant to be. Oh my goodness. That's absolutely fantastic. Have not done one of those parties. Would like to. Don't know how well that would go for me now. But I will say we used to do at college, they would give you these like small pitchers.
Oh yeah.
Not the full size one, but the small pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And they would give it to me at the bar I was helping at, because it was like free beer from 10 to midnight on Thursdays, and you would just like fill your buddy's things. And then I just decided I'm just not going to fill any of the cups. I'm just going to drink out of the mini pitcher, which was a much more efficient delivery service.
That's very efficient.
And also it looked like I was helping. So they'd be like, oh, let me refill this. You're going to fill up a couple for us. That's so much helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
No,
drinking it for myself. Selfish. I put myself first.
Freshman year of college, we had those mini pitchers as well. I was drinking directly out of one. And then I threw up directly into the pitcher I was drinking beer out of. And then I put it on a table and left that bar. Which dog do you think you are? According to Kelly.
Honestly, I'm surprised that it took her this long to do this.
I'm sure they have footage of her giving everyone a dog.
I want that information.
Yeah.
I want that information so much. And maybe if we do talk to her this week, she can tell us what we are. Maybe we just submit photos
I'd like that.
Of ourselves, and she doesn't know anything about our personality. It's just based off looks. Kind of her own version of Smash or Pass dogs.
Yes.
And then we get information about what type of dogs we are. That'd be great. I would like that a lot. So,
what do you think your dog is?
I don't know. I don't know enough about all the breeds of dogs to really make. I feel like I'm just. That'd be like me trying to give stock advice, which we don't do here on the number one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not qualified enough to give dog breed advice, but I would like to say. I can't even give a guess.
I feel like golden retriever. I get golden retriever from you because you're loyal and you're nice, but like I think golden retrievers are like goofy.
Yeah, like I feel like that has a negative.
Doofy. Not that you're like dumb, but like they do a little doofy, fun, cute, like funny stuff. You know?
Yeah, I think that's a term now though for men, like my golden retriever boyfriend, and I think sometimes it has a bit of a negative connotation.
I could not be with a golden retriever. I would tear them apart.
Right. But I don't feel like I'm totally like that, but I guess somewhere like golden retriever adjacent. You know what I mean?
Adjacent. Yes, I do. One of my favorite words, by the way. Love using that word too much. It's a great word.
Okay.
Okay, so
what about you? You didn't. Yeah, I just have to pick my own dog, and then you don't pick your own dog.
Well, I mean, I picked your dog, but
okay.
You're gonna sit here for 10 minutes and not know what dog I am.
That's true.
I want to say black lab, but I think that I need more oomph than that, and like I need a little bit more bitch.
Yeah, I'm sure this
black
will be
lab
a good
adjacent.
Thing. Black lab adjacent. A black lab that's been crossed with another type of dog. Yeah.
Maybe like a black lab Doberman situation.
Yeah, I can see that. I lean myself more probably Labrador as well. I don't know. Somebody will tell us. That's fine. Let's move on.
I really identify more as a honey badger, but that's not a dog. So we'll continue on. I want the record to reflect. I love Frank. I am so in on Frank. This is my first season with Frank. Mustache slaps. Attitude incredible. Lying amazing. And he's athletic. He is a great challenger. Just for viewing purposes alone. Putting him with Sam, hilarious. Like, it's just, Frank is killing it. And he had a quote this week that told me, he said, Daddy would never throw me in. Like, talking about how he's getting people convinced. And he said, I can't wait to throw you in.
He's a superstar. It's what he's always been. This. He's built for this. I would love to see him on a regular season because I'm very interested to know, like, how that would go.
Yeah, that's
more
true.
In this new version of Frank. But saying right to the camera, I don't care about you, right after basically saying to Kellyanne, I really need you to be here. Like, I really need you to be here. And then cutting to, I don't care about you, which may, usually would be like, editor found a great clip from later in the season when he was talking about somebody who really doesn't care about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put that past Frank to be like, hey, I need to go do an interview immediately because you just caught me saying, I need you to be here. I want it very much on the record that I was talking about her in that moment.
Yep.
I need that on the record, please, and thank you. It's so good.
I love him. He's so calculated. I want him to team up with Devin, but I feel like they're too similar.
Yeah, it would be like it would be like fusing an atom. The amount of energy that would come off of that would probably like implode the challenge universe and create a black hole, and we'd never see the show again. But I do want them to kind of like go at each other a little bit and see what that would be like. I really want that to happen. I would like to play you a piece of audio, and then I would like you to try to tell me on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you believe this statement? Okay?
Okay.
Here's the audio.
I really was trying super hard to like get along with her, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
This is Sylvia saying, I was trying really hard to get along with her, and that was in reference to Kelly Ann. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you believe that?
And 1 is the least I believe it the least, and 10 is I believe it the most?
Yes.
-5.
I like how you set the scale. That's how we do a joke. You set the scale.
That's comedy right there. That is comedy. I could teach anybody comedy. They can't be as funny as me. And that's not a dig. It's just the facts, you know?
Yeah.
And we're going to call it, we'll do a callback later too. Mark that right now so that that's also comedy. Just so you know. I'm on one today.
You know what's really comedy is telling people what the comedy is.
I love explaining jokes. That's the best part.
Hey, and remember what I said now? Just remember when I say something like that later.
I'm going to mention it later.
It's about comedy, you know? Like, just remember that, okay? Remember that Easter egg. It's coming for you. It's coming for you. Yeah, I believe that very low as well. I don't know if I go as negative down the scale as you did. It seems very clear.
Did you forget what she said to her?
Oh, I remember. America remembers. And I was really hoping Shane would go, so what exactly did you say? And she's got to like, well,
yeah, sober.
I told her, I slightly overreacted, and I said that, you know, you have dogs, I have a family. And he would have been like, bitch, why?
I still can't believe that she fucking said that. That has to be one of the most, like, just ruthless comments I've heard on this show ever.
Imagine then, like, 2 days later, being like, hey, we're cool, right?
The timeline of this whole thing is so crazy. Again, same thing happened again this episode. Anissa was in, I think, a different outfit, but Ashley was in the same outfit in the beginning of the episode when she was bitching to Turbo and was it the other Ashley?
Maybe.
About Anissa. And then at the end when Anissa called her a hick or something and that all blew the fuck up, she was in the same outfit. So again, are these things like? I'm very confused. Timeline is not timelining this season,
and it is clear though because this seems to be the format of how they're going to do it. That we're going to like set something up at the end of each episode, which is going to maybe play out, however, in the following episode, like we saw, and that's exactly what you said last week. Was something's going to happen in this one? I did not see them like becoming friends and then not quitting in an elimination. That was surprising. Honestly, not what I really wanted to happen, but here we are.
Okay, they didn't quit. But
go ahead, say it.
Sylvia was like giggling about like how Kellyanne like didn't ask for a check. I don't know. She kept like, and like Shane was like, put all the pieces out. She's like, I did, but I just, and maybe
you are wanting to go to the conspiracy corner. I can see it in your eyes.
Maybe we go later, and maybe I just don't really fully understand Sylvia's gameplay because I've only seen her in one other season.
Yeah,
from like what I've watched, but I just think she did a really good job of hiding it.
If allegedly she did, it was a great smoke and mirrors situation.
Because all she really had to do was make sure that they got the puzzle after Adam and Steve did. Because while I do think they made it seem like we're jumping, but while I do think they made it seem like the elimination was difficult, it really didn't seem that hard to me. Especially for two grown men to be holding rope.
Listen, as soon as they said it, I think they cut to like Kellyanne and Sylvia, and they just like looked at each other like, okay, like we've lost already. But that's
kind of what I'm saying. As long as they got to the rope first, it was done.
Yeah, we'll go through this charade.
I will go back to the elimination. I have more to say about it, but let's go to the timeline that we're currently being fed, which is Adam now is sick as fuck. Kellyanne and Steve are having a conversation. You just keep hearing the toilet flush. I don't know if that was real or not, but god damn it, is that great. See, that's the kind of stuff. You want to manufacture some shit, go with that kind of thing. That's some good
100%.
fun. We're just having a silly, goofy little time over here.
Yeah. Let's add a little sound effect. It's coming out both ends, so it's food poisoning, and apparently it turned into a respiratory issue. And I'm not a doctor, but if you say there's a respiratory thing going along, I don't think you're shitting your brains out and vomiting. That's food poisoning, okay? Which I thought I had on Friday night or Thursday night.
You had food poisoning?
Flu, yeah. Some sort of weird flu. I thought I had food poisoning Thursday night. Turns out, no. Just needed to go a bunch of times within a 2-hour window.
Cacio Pepe.
No cacio pepe, no cacio pepe, no cacio pepe, fish and chips.
Oh God, I don't want to know. I am skipping past this conversation. Adam looked horrific. I felt bad for the guy. When they started, after the daily talking about how they were gonna get some sympathy, I was like, No,
they're not. They're not. They're a strong team, and this might be your opportunity to get them out. And honestly, it sucks for them because they're gonna be the house vote every week now at this point, unless they win, which is really kind of sucky.
Yeah, I think that there's enough layups, if you will, that they'll be around for a couple more weeks, and maybe.
I like that idea.
Honestly, if they're smart and can do some strategy, which I have yet to really see them do, maybe they team up with a couple people and try to get an alliance within that can start protecting them, and they start going for other people. I really think we are sleeping on Amber and Baby Hulk.
100%.
I honestly, the more I'm watching this season and just their dynamic as teammates and stuff, they're going to a final.
There was a point during this daily, and maybe I'm taking the ass of the week, and I don't know that right now.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a part during the daily where he is literally just hands deep in her ass, pushing her up that incline, that dirt.
Yeah.
Just get up there.
Oh, Amber at the daily is this week's Ass of the Week. Of the week.
Oh man!
Listen,
it's the first time I think that's ever happened.
Well, I mean, there was another shot where she was kind of falling down the net, almost into the camera.
Okay.
And I also saw the Baby Hulk hand grab. So yeah, I mean, you brought it up, so I had to tell the people. We all knew it was coming, but sorry. Anyways, continue. We were talking about Amber's ass.
God, I mean, there's nothing I don't want to discuss about this woman. It's just it's like Chauncey's stumbled upon, penicillin, right? That's the thing. What's the things that penicillin was discovered by accident, and a few other things were discovered by accident. He was just out there existing as Chauncey.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. We interviewed Chauncey. Chauncey seems to be a nice guy. I don't know what he did other than just look hot. And it goes back to my theory all time. You see dating advice. It's here are the things that women want to hear. Here are the things that will get a woman to be attracted. I'm step 1, be hot.
But yeah, that's very helpful. I was going to say, I want Chauncey and I want Adam to make a guy dating advice podcast, because I don't know what the fuck is going on there. When Adam was giving all these ball jokes,
great. I saw it.
Incredible.
I was I got
absolutely
it now.
Incredible. That's exactly what I said too. I was I am starting to get why our girl Avery and her Hooters are in on our guy Adam. Look, he's a great looking guy. Even when
follower
he's sick, he looks
of the
good.
podcast now, by the way, Adam. Follower of the number one.
Oh, that's
commenter of the number one.
Hi, Adam.
What's up, bro?
We love you. Congratulations again, since he's here. While he's here,
congratulations. On behalf of men everywhere, thank you for giving us hope.
Way to go, my guy. Way to go. And also, still didn't even look that bad during the daily. He was still going. And who was it? Was it Shane or Frank? Somebody was oh, men have this thing where they can't handle like a cold, which is true. I've experienced it enough. I've seen enough. I've seen what I've needed to see. I've done my research. It's true. You guys are fucking babies about being sick.
Okay.
You are. Good. Are you not going to defend your...
I know enough about you to try not to...
No, go ahead. No, let's fight. I kind of feel like fighting. Let's go.
See, I know you wanted to fight, and I'm not going to give you that win. So I'm just going to move on and not give you that
I think you know I'm right.
Okay. So what else happened?
We are loving obstacle courses and All-Stars this season.
I'm going to share with you a clip after we record here.
No.
That's on TikTok that you need to see, and it is very much our dynamic. Continue.
All-Stars is loving obstacle courses. We have 2 out of the 3 dailies now have been obstacle courses. And the other one was just let's set up a bunch of equipment and then watch everybody not do the daily. Do you think that this is a thing? Do you think that they blocked off this massive plot of land for 2 weeks, and so they're doing all of the obstacle course type stuff now?
I think so, because again, as we talked about before, I think of the first one, visually, it's very good for television. It makes for great editing. You can jump around. Everybody has to compete. We're not having the issue like we had last week, which is somebody clearly does the obstacle course in 4 minutes, and then you're like, Big T and Corey go. And then you're like, well, I mean, pass. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So we have that, and it's a visual element, and there could be something that gets mixed up in the middle of it. I'm fine with it. Is it exciting dailies? No. But again, this is diet challenge. These are diet dailies. I don't want them to be crazy stuff like jumping off the side of the building. I want them to be kind of things like this, which are kind of flagship-y in a way, but also not.
Flagship adjacent.
And the way they distinguish this is that they make sure that they still understand that this show, All-Stars, is in service of the number one. They put this show on for us to deliver content to you.
I agree.
And the reason I know that is because of this piece of audio.
Last time I did a obstacle course, I got hurt.
No.
Steven, that is literally the quote I wrote down.
No.
And then I put in parentheses, deep guttural noises, and in parentheses, and put, shut the fuck up. This is exactly, I'm so glad we're so seamlessly going through what I wanted to discuss. This daily, it was a diet challenge daily. I do think it was fun to watch. I didn't enjoy it because 3 separate times we had Anissa complaining about past injuries. I want to rewatch the daily on mute and see if I would like it a lot more. Because every time I started to get back into what the daily was, I'm watching Devin and Leroy go. I'm seeing Ashley get into it. Amber and Fessy are doing great. Even Sam scaled the side of that fucking ditch. And I was like, let's go, Sam. We love to see the effort.
And then,
but then it's and then it's I haven't been on a cargo net since I dislocated my shoulder. Oh my God.
There's been some spice last that I've been on a cargo net. I'm like, are you regularly on cargo nets? Was this part of what you did every day at home? You're like, I really liked riding horses. It was my passion. I got bucked off, and I had to have surgery. And I haven't been on a horse since. No, you're not regularly on cargo nets, Anissa. Since season 37. Oh my goodness! You know what you've done since season 37? 2 more seasons of the challenge.
Yeah.
One where you got to a final.
Yeah.
And now you're doing this.
But when she got to that final, guess what?
Hurt yourself.
She got injured twice.
I mean, am I expecting that every time Anissa does something on this season of All-Stars, she's going to go, this is the last time that I did enter blank, I got hurt.
Yes. And I honestly, Steven, that's literally what I was getting to. I cannot do this all season. If this is like a bit, sure, I get it. It's funny at like the thought of it, but this is going to piss me off. I am going to freak out. And then for her later to be talking about like how much she works out, it just, you remember when we were talking about Pick Me Girls? And Ashley even said it later in the episode herself.
She did. I was like, ooh. I was like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I'm like, ooh.
This is it to its core. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Don't
understand why this needed, unless there is a huge payoff. Unless this season.
She has to get injured again.
Ashley absolutely berating Anissa. And Ashley has been on Twitter. And on Reddit and on OnlyFans. Like learning from the Twitter public.
Yep.
About our feelings of her being on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And it has infused her body.
Mm-hmm.
And then she shows up and she goes, hey, I haven't been asked back in a few years. And you're going to partner me with this? What do you expect me to do? You know what's going to happen. I've learned and grown. I'm trying to be a better person and not having these rages. But basically what you've done is you've put alcohol in front of an alcoholic. Then you're like, hey, don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything crazy where we can't call you back for a couple of years. We're just going to like shoo it away.
Yep.
And then you're going to give me alcohol and be like, because this is what it is. I haven't done a cargo net since season 37. It's 2 stories high at most. This is not like off the side of a building where you're going to fall down 7 stories before the safety thing catches you. It's at most 11 feet high.
See, this is honestly, I think, really what the core of my problem is with Anissa. She likes to say that she's an athlete. She went on that whole little speech with, who was that, Sam, about how TJ finally acknowledged her as an athlete, which like, anyways, all of this, okay? Sure. She really wants to be seen as an athlete. She talks about how she does all these workouts when she's home. Fine, dandy, great. If you were an actual athlete, and I bet you if you ask Jordan this, you ask Amber this, even Baby Hulk, like Devin, all of these people, they get injured. Something happens to them in some sort of an athletic way. That person recovers and then goes right back to that and figures out how to do it correctly instead of being like, oh, there's a net hanging in a triangle formation again. Yeah. What do I do with my hands? Like, that's the difference. Like, you can work out all you want. You can sit there and say that you're athletic and this, that, and the other, but there is a mind of an athlete that she just does not have. You have it or you don't. And you could be an athlete, but I think there is as you said, a specific mindset that is not just an athlete's mindset. It can be anybody's mindset. Like, hey, this happened to me. I'm going to fucking kick the door open and I'm going to attack it. Yeah.
And, depending on where you're at in life and some other things going on, I could understand you got some mental health stuff going on. It's not going to be the same way. But then to sit here and be like, this same narrative for 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons now.
Yes, thank you, Steven.
Like, it's fine if it's one season. Hey, I got hurt. I just don't feel the same. Like, I got this. But it's just been the same narrative. And that's where I feel like the community has fallen off. It's like, listen, if you're going to just come to the show and complain that you can't do this and you're going to lay in the most ridiculous position possible on a couch, we'll get there. We don't need it. And then Ashley's sitting here going like, you're going to prevent me from winning money.
She is. I mean, she prevented Jordan too.
I have a reputation to uphold at this point as the most money-winning person on this show, and you are going to prevent me from doing this, which is going to hurt me financially. So you're going to come in here, do your thing, and make fun of me and my accent, and don't think that that's going to make me snap.
Especially, it's fucking Ashley, dude. Look at who it is.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, I really do think that the that the Anissa storyline is going to just be this. The last note I have about her, I said, if they show Anissa complaining about her past injuries one more time, I'm turning my laptop into a Frisbee.
Listen, I have a note for later, but since I really want to wrap
the Anissa of it all,
absolutely shitting on her.
Yeah.
She is lounging there in the most awful position possible for you to be thought of as somebody who is competing on a physical show. Wearing the most ridiculous outfit that looks like you are just lounging at the house as much as humanly possible. I guess I can put the bike outside and I think what she said, flush out my legs.
Yeah.
And then being like, what's Shane doing? He's in the pool swimming. You know, something that will happen on this show at some point. You know, trying.
Working on himself.
Whatever. And to say I train in the off season and then when I come here, I don't listen. You don't just train to go to the Olympics and then you show up in Paris or Milan and don't do any sort of conditioning.
You're just like, I did it. I got here. We're done.
When you're at the fucking Olympics and go, hey, I'm here. Let's see what happens this time. I wonder if it's going to be what it usually is. Yes, it is going to be what it usually is. And then you're going to be winded and gassed because you haven't continued to condition that way. I'm not one to speak about this, but at least I fucking know about it.
Well, you're not fucking sitting there saying you're doing one thing and then it's not fucking, that's it.
It's absolutely insane. And then that image, it's as the editors are like, I am fucking sick of this as well.
Good.
I'm so fucking sick of having to like piece this together to kind of protect her. And part of me is like, is production finally over this as well? Did production finally go, hey, listen here for a second?
I feel like Vacation Alliance is starting to go. I feel like they were this golden little egg for the challenge, and now everybody else that wasn't in that alliance is starting to be like, hey, production, this is kind of some bullshit. And I feel like the tides are shifting, which I like some people in the Vacation Alliance. I don't like some people in the Vacation Alliance. So I am interested in this because when I got on with you, I felt like it was very much
heavy
favoring them.
Heavy.
Yeah.
The thing I was going to say was it is honestly very surprising to me because it feels like in a way the show has protected her for whatever reason and propped her up. And Ashley is saying what nobody else has ever really said that much on camera.
I was going to say on the show because me and you have been saying it.
Yes. On camera, on the show.
Yes.
To the point where it's just like, I'm basically putting my dick on the table and being like, how is nobody else going to say this? Like, your strategy of being a social player has got you
nowhere.
Fuck all. So maybe it ain't going to work again for you, girl.
Do you want to keep talking about the daily or do you want to cut to their fight at the very end of the episode? Because I'm prepared for you there.
No, let's save that because I need to lift ourselves back
let's lift
up.
back up. Let's talk about the rest of this daily that did not have to do with the 8 different inserts of Anissa bitching about past injuries and being scared. I got very concerned during this daily. Do you know why?
No.
I think it's because my brain is still kind of remembering Flagship Edit. But Leroy started talking about his plan for the money. And I was like, oh my God. However, because they did win, it makes me now think the opposite. They already told us what his reasoning is for the money and he did get sent home. So that makes me think, listen, I'm rooting for Leroy. Okay. We all are. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, like Devin said. I want him to be a bride.
And then, you know what? They were able to provide me with Leroy audio that honestly is like some of the stuff he used to do. Like, I understand, just like CT as you get older, you have families, you have kids, you evolve, you don't say the things, you're just not the same person. But him saying, if I won this money when I still lived in Vegas, it would go on strippers, strip clubs, gambling, alcohol, strip clubs, gambling, alcohol. Just those three things. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. You know, actually, I recently watched a couple of clips of, because I realized recently that the Nani and Leroy were on Real World together. And I started watching a couple clips of that Vegas shit. They fucking partied back in the day. And I would have loved to have been a part of that. But it's interesting to see him now. And when they were showing clips from Real World Las Vegas too, and like the juxtaposition and him kind of talking about it, it was honestly really nice. See, these are the things I like about All Stars too. It's got like, they put nice little bows on things sometimes, you know? And I felt like we got that. But then I got nervous again because I'm like, okay, they won. I feel good. You know, Devin and Leroy safe. They have a star. They're going to pick whoever, you know, Devin's going to do his Devin thing. I think they need to chill out a little bit. I think they're putting a huge target on their back right now. And for them to cut a deal with Sam and Frank doesn't make any sense to me. I would have thought they would have cut a deal with Adam and Steve. They're stronger.
Yeah, and Adam and Steve now can be like, hey, you didn't give us who we wanted.
Yes.
Now, the thing that I was upset about with this was that they're like, we're going to make everyone nervous that they're going to go in. And then we saw
none of it.
No situation of this happening other than the flashback when they went to Sam and Frank and they were like this, that, and the other. There is no scenario where I see Sam and Frank winning a daily and help Devin and Leroy out. I see no scenario of that. I do see a scenario where Adam and Steve win. Now, here's what I kind of think might have happened behind the scenes.
Teach me.
We saw a little bit of it. Okay. We saw Devin and Leroy talking to Adam and Steve, and they're like, who do you want? They then went and talked to them, and they're like, okay, sure. And the person they suggested, Kellyanne and Sylvia, then they go back to Adam and Steve. They're like, listen, how about Kellyanne and Sylvia? It's still somebody you pretty sure you can beat. We're going to get a favor from them out of this deal. You're still going to get kind of an easier... You're two guys, you're going to be probably favored, even though he's got a respiratory issue and is using an inhaler during the middle of the show. Whatever. You're probably still going to be, are you guys good with that? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, sure. And they're like, okay, we're still going to give you somebody you want. So in a position that we end up getting the House vote in or something like that, we just ask that you kind of might do the same thing for us there. Because realistically, yeah, we could put another stallholder in against you, but we're kind of trying to prevent that from happening, which also helps us right now, too. Yep. So I think there was some of that, but I do think this show is less showing you strategy and more entertaining. And I'm okay with that.
I am too. And I like I said, I kind of need to still get my brain into, while this is the challenge, it's not the challenge, you know?
Diet challenge light.
And even us talking about it right now, like I do think Frank has great social work. And I mean, he's a liar and he owns it and doesn't care about like actually doing anything he says. Like that's exactly what you need. So I can see Devin wanting to kind of work with that. Yeah. But I would just think that working with like Adam and Steve on this is going to give them more protection in the long run.
I think I'm going to guess that Leroy and Devin did this because they know Frank is core to the central of the social part of the challenge of this season. People are going to be talking to Frank. Frank has been always talking strategy in game. Yep. And I think they're like, just let us know what you're kind of hearing. Yeah. In kind of a way like, we're going to save you this time, but just so you know, they wanted you in. because they think you're going to be out.
Yeah.
And all the strong teams are going to do the same thing. And Frank is like, I'm aware of this.
Yeah.
So I think it's mutually beneficial for both in a way that maybe we see play out, but who the hell knows? I don't know. I'm okay with it. Again, it's 30 minutes shorter than the flagship. So we're seeing what we see. But it goes back to, I think this season's about entertainment. And I would like to try to entertain our community now by playing a very new game called What the Fuck Are You Talking About? It's kind of a game that we've done before.
Is it featuring Nicole?
It is featuring Melissa, actually.
Great. I'm excited. I'm in.
Now, I have listened to this audio about 42 times.
Okay. I'm going to close my eyes.
I think I finally have what she's saying.
Okay.
But considering we've been recording for however long now, about an hour, it's probably gone out of my head, and this will be fresh for me again.
Okay.
So
I'm in.
Everybody can now play What the Fuck Were You Saying? Here we go.
How many people? Nicole, I can't find one.
How many do you got, Nicole? I can't find one.
Oh my God. Congratulations. The first time I heard that, I thought it was absolute gibberish, that she was talking in another language.
How many people? Nicole, I can't find one.
I was like, huh?
That whole section of the episode, I like watched it, right? Like I know I watched it.
Yeah.
Didn't sync. Didn't sync.
It's like, what are you talking about? And then I also love during the daily, last thing we'll talk about the daily. I love during the daily where like Dario and Ashley are like, we got a strategy. We're just going to take the two big ones first. We're going to be so far ahead. Never saw again.
Yep.
Never saw again.
But honestly, and maybe they aren't even doing it on purpose, they're playing middle of the pack. They're going to be good for a little bit.
Perfect.
They're going to be good for a bit. I would like more of them, and I still want them to fuck.
It's gonna happen. It's gotta happen.
It's gotta happen.
It's gotta happen.
It's gotta happen. And I got one more episode until Nicole and Melissa do, or I'm wrong on that one.
She was sitting by the pool with Amber B, and I was just like,
"It's done."
Let me just swim up. Let me just swim up.
It's crazy. It's
What's
absolutely
up, ladies?
crazy.
You need a drink? You need a drink? Here you go. Here you go.
We get to the house.
I know you
vote.
took a chance on Chauncey. Maybe you can convince her to take a Chauncey on me.
Take a Chauncey on me. Take a Chauncey on me. Take a Chauncey. If you need me, let me know.
I do want to go back to the image that I sent you that I had on the screen earlier, which was Anissa just laying in the worst position
the couch
possible.
Are we back on Anissa? We are all over the place this episode. Sorry everybody, enjoy this.
No, and I've sent you the image so you can look at it, because I want to speak about something very specific in this image.
Okay.
On the table, you guys can see that there's 3 different mugs. I'm going to pretend that the thing at the top of the image next to Big T kind of looks like a microphone. Whatever. But we're going to go down to the table.
No, I know what that is.
What is it?
That's a
vape watch?
vape watch, baby. That's a vape.
I thought it might be.
It might be. Or it's like the I don't know.
It's very tough to see.
It's a potential vape. A potential vape.
Potential vape.
Vape
watch.
adjacent.
Okay. Vape adjacent. Okay, we're back to the table.
Yes, sorry.
We're seeing 3 different beverages on the table,
Uh-huh.
all in 3 different containers of beverages.
Yep.
I just have to say this. I don't like a Stanley Cup. I think it's hilarious people are paying $60 for a mug that everyone has to be trendy.
Yep.
Everyone's got the same thing. You're overpaying for a holder of liquids.
You could just use an upside down traffic cone.
Exactly my point.
Callback. Comedy.
And some of these are as comically large as a traffic cone. And some of them are colored in the exact same color as a traffic cone.
And probably the same efficiency of like carrying and storing.
Yeah, you got this. You got your keys. You got there's bags. I don't know how you ladies do it. Honestly, it's a red flag. is a swipe left immediate. I see you like with a Stanley Cup, I'm out.
Okay, but you go 3 dates with a girl, you like her, you go back to her place and she has a Stanley Cup at her nightstand. You're overlooking it at that point. It's not a deal breaker, it's a red flag.
It's not a deal breaker, it's a correct. It's a red flag.
Gotcha.
I'm like, okay. I don't like this.
Okay.
I don't like that it's by your bed.
Mhm.
Get out of bed and go to the sink with a cup next to it like everyone else does, okay? Doesn't
Okay.
need to be by the bed. Not the point of this conversation, not the point of the story.
Yep.
Look at what's on the straw.
Oh yeah, the cowboy hat.
That's a little cowboy hat.
Yeah, that's like a thing that you accessorizing the Stanleys is like the whole thing with the Stanleys, which I do want to state I don't like them and I think that they're stupid, but I have a weird thing with water bottles I can't see into.
You have to see the liquid.
I have to see the liquid.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't wash
100%.
their water bottles correctly, especially the straws. One of our coworkers got sick from black mold from a water bottle. I'm not playing that game. So I'm out on Stanley strictly for that. But yeah, this is like the thing. They have like little like accessories you can like put on your straw. You could fucking extendo clip the hell out of a Stanley. It's like a goddamn gun. Like the amount of little things that you can like click and snap in and like.
It makes no sense. The hat almost pulls me back in.
Interesting.
Almost pulls me back in.
Okay.
And I was like, I need to know whose mug this is.
Mm-hmm.
Who has that mug?
We have a leg.
There's Big T's on the
corner. Yep.
On the corner. Corey's at the bottom. And then there's somebody across who I don't know. I need to know who this person is. Part of me thinks it's Katie.
I think Kellyanne.
Oh, damn it. That does track.
The muscle of the leg and knee is making me
Yeah.
think it's Kellyanne. And Kellyanne, every time I've seen her, she's like sitting in a pretzel that's like 5 layers.
She does. I don't like all the yoga's paying off for Kellyanne. My ACL would have tore in half the positions that she tries to be in. It makes no sense to me.
I rewatched the last episode, and when she was fighting with Sylvia, her legs were like twisted 3 times backwards. It's like, what are you doing?
How do you do that? How you've been stretching your entire fucking life to be that limber? I don't get it. I don't get it. But anywho, that's the thing. Also, when I was home during the holidays, we were at Dick's Sporting Goods. There was a collection of Stanley mugs next to us, and I'm just looking at it. I'm like, $70. Somebody's paying $70. And then, as you're going through the checkout stand and stuff like that, they have all these things. There's like Stanley sells like a collection of multicolored straws. There's like 4 straws for like $14. I literally looked at it and I go, $13 for 4 straws? What a joke.
Person behind you grabbed it. Didn't they? Tell me I'm right.
The person in front of me already had them.
Even better.
And clearly heard my disgust.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
At the price point. I think I said something like, I just don't get it. You
were with mom?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I don't think she clocked it, and I don't think we talked about it later because there was other stuff going on when we were at the store, but I was just like...
That's amazing. I love that so much.
4 straws for $13? Jeez, they got a little cult going on here, something like that. Being a Stanley girl or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm out on that.
Okay, let's continue on.
Let's go to the house vote because
okay.
For some reason, I don't know, TJ talked to Laurel. I don't know what's going on, but he seems pissed at Nicole for no reason. Did you hear him say to her, say the fucking name, Nicole?
Just say the name, Nicole.
Obviously, she was trying not to say it, but I do like the idea that she called
It was an
Laurel.
edit, though. He was like, all right, Melissa and Nicole. And then I think Nicole started to say something. He goes, say the fucking name, Nicole. And I was like, okay, dude, fuck yeah. Are we just cracking the whip at Nicole for no reason?
I think Adam's over there being like, hey, I'm going to shit my pants. Can we just speed this up? And TJ's like, I got you. Let's go, Nicole. And Nicole's like, So, this is nothing personal. Just say the fucking name.
I know that's what happened, but the edit made it seem so aggressive. So good. I love TJ in All Stars, man. I really do. Also, I kept catching him like in different sections of the obstacle course during the Diet Daily and just seeing his little bowling shirt like in the corner in random places. I'm like, this guy's just fucking around, bebopping.
Oh, I love him so much.
The best.
It's real. I just want to be like really, really like tight friends with him, and he goes to like Starbucks in the morning with him and just hangs out and talks.
Takes his ATV there. Yeah.
God, it's just his really cool classic cars and shit like that. That's great.
I mean, we got to talk Elim. We kind of did. I do also want to say I really like the way that they're editing this, even though like we were saying it's a little hard to follow timeline. I like that I was going in expecting one team, and all of a sudden we hear Kellyanne and Sylvia, and nothing had been said at any point up until that point. And I'm like, what the fuck, Kellyanne and Sylvia? And then they flash back and show us all of that. I like that versus going in and thinking it's between like one or two people. Like, I honestly, this happened last episode too. They just called, I don't even remember who left last week. Oh, John A. and Beth. That was not expected. There was another team that they were kind of acting like they were going to go for, and then they didn't. And you think that it's random, but then they show you a flashback and it makes more sense. I like that editing style for this. It's different. I'm in. Because again, like you were saying as well, it's less talking about the strategy. We're having more fun, but I'm still getting the information I need. Right.
The surprise factor of being like, oh, didn't see that coming. I like that. I like that a lot more than just the regular, I guess we'll do this and everybody will know, and you go in there and it's like, oh, and maybe it's a swerve, but I like that a lot. I like that so much better. I also like Shane trying to be a cheerleader during this elimination for the Lavender Ladies, which honestly I forgot existed at some point.
Yeah.
OGs will know that there was a time where me, Brooke, and Justin were always on the Lavender Ladies. Brooke hated the Lavender Ladies. Also, speaking of OG, one of our OG people from the group, one of the original followers of the number one, Stacy, she's getting married this coming week. So shout out to the OGs of OGs. You get an air horn for the marriage. Congratulations.
Congrats. That's beautiful.
Big shout out. She is the OG. When I mention OGs, that's the OG.
Way to go, Stacey.
Number one.
Get that ring, girl.
Congratulations on that. But Shane trying to be a cheerleader and telling them that it's not over yet to keep going. He's like, hey, it's not over. It's not over.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like it's affecting you. Let me try again. It's not over.
I am telling you. I mean, we can go to the corner if you want to. I just really think that, and I almost feel like Kellyanne, it was like an agreement.
Oh.
I think maybe they were so busy fighting each other, acting like they didn't want to be the reason to go home as the other person. Then they had an actual sit-down conversation where they both were like, we're getting married. I just had a baby 3 months ago. Like, we got the check that I'm comfortable with getting for this. Let's go home.
I don't put it besides them.
Because Kellyanne's great at puzzles. And maybe it's harder than it looks, but that puzzle didn't seem that difficult.
No, but Steve did say, I do these literally every day.
Yep.
This style of puzzle, which again is very specific. You can do puzzles, but then it comes down to this specific type where there's like all these like weird shapes and you have to try to get them in the right grooves. They weren't that far off. I think they were off by allegedly 45 seconds or something like that. It was pretty close. But
I don't know. Maybe I'm causing a problem that doesn't exist, but
it's weird how you can be that awful to somebody 2 nights before, patch it up, obviously, compete in a daily, and be like, hey, you're doing such a great job, and then go home.
Hug.
Without it being like, hey, we've bonded over this fact that, like, really, we don't we thought this would be a good idea. It's not a good idea. Our heads are not in it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take the money and run. We got a decent enough check that'll help us do something.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, do we think we're going to win? Probably not, because it's a shorter season. We're not going to get big weekly checks and stuff. So
yeah,
maybe this is the time to bow out and we're going to help somebody else out in the same thing, but whatever. I don't know. It's not a bad thought. I like it. I like when you do these things.
I don't know. It just doesn't, logically on paper, it doesn't add up that they put in the effort to stay.
My type on paper.
On paper. Well, we end the episode. I know we already kind of discussed this a bit, the fight with Ashley and Anissa.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to note, they got in the fight. It was hella awkward. And then Anissa went and found Ashley and they started having a conversation. Ashley is talking about how like Ashley doesn't make fun of Anissa for her personal things or her background or things like that. And Anissa then... Dude, this one really pissed me off. I think out of everything she said, this one pissed me off the most. She starts making the fight about her because Ashley put her in a corner and been like, you did something wrong. It hurt me. I didn't do anything like this to you. You don't get to be like, we do this back and forth. It's a no. Then Anissa flips it on its head to try to, once again, has to be the victim. I advocate for everyone. I've had to deal with so much shit over the years, end quote. That has absolutely nothing to do with the fact of anything you just did to Ashley. Nothing. And then she cries.
Yeah, because this is the pattern that she's in. This is the pattern that she's in. It's not a fun place to be, but again, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, did Ashley overreact? Yes.
I think Ashley's mad about a lot of other things.
But Ashley's mad about a lot of other things, and this was the thing that set it off. And it's unfortunate because I think Ashley should have gone, this is not really what I was upset about.
Yep.
I can't come to you and be like, hey, I think you're going to be fucking awful at this. You don't give me a shot of winning.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say that because nobody can say that, and I'm going to look like an absolute fucking bitch.
Yep.
Even though everybody already knows I am.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody kind of enjoys that I tell it the way it is.
Yeah.
I do think, going back to what I was saying before, Ashley's really the only one who could say this on camera in the way that she did, and people would be like, yeah, because we kind of expect her to be like the truth teller.
Well, Jordan danced around it in Ride or Dies.
Yes. And like, he got shellacked for it.
Oh, totally.
Be like, fucking typical Jordan. Can't say that about her. And it's just like, look at a man trying to whatever. But you're right. It was just like, I think also Anissa was like, whoa. There's obviously something else going on here that you don't want to discuss with me right now. And that's fine, but I apologize. Holy shit. Like, that's not what this was about, but I'll apologize.
See, but I don't like people that apologize like that, being like, that wasn't my intention. Of course, it wasn't your intention to hurt a person. We would assume that that's the case.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't know that. Yeah. Sometimes I would say that when you get into the argument and somebody's like, well, it's not my intention. I was like, okay. Maybe it wasn't, but it did land that way. So I'll take that for that. But sometimes there are people like the one that we were just talking about. Oh, well, you have dogs. I have a kid. That was done maliciously.
Yes.
Right? And she could come back later and be like, it wasn't my intention. I'm like, bitch, it 100% was.
That was straight up your intention. And Sylvia didn't even say that. She was like, I said shit to hurt you.
Yes.
But I always think that when people apologize like that, with like that wasn't my intention, I kind of feel like it just like invalidates, it makes the person almost like question themselves, like, should I have not gotten mad then?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like there's a way that you could be like, hey, I'm so sorry it came across that way, but I hear what you're saying and I totally get how you feel that way. And, you know, maybe I would have felt that way too if I, like, validating the fact that they're mad versus being like, well, I didn't mean to say it. Like, you took it wrong. That's on you. It's a two-person street.
Yeah. I think if it's one of those things where they were right there with each other, so they heard it, versus something that's like through the grapevine, it's like, well, I heard that, because this is what usually happens on the show.
Yeah.
It's usually like, well, I heard you said this, and it's like, that is not at all what I said.
Yep.
This is a game of telephone, and the nuance is getting completely fucking lost.
Yep.
Versus in this situation where she's literally like, I was in the kitchen part of this. I walked by. I heard exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Different versus like, oh, well, I heard you were saying this about me. Some nuance to it, but okay. Okay. I'll give you what you want.
I so hope
but then she's saying the pick me thing. She's talking to Fessel, and Fessel.
Who the fuck is Fessel?
Oh, Baby Hulk saying, I think you two should kind of work it out because I think you can be a really strong team and go really far.
This might be.
And Ashley's like, yeah, we can be. And he's like, yeah.
It could be Baby Hulk's season, Steven. He's doing so good.
Can you imagine this is Baby Hulk's season? Baby
and
Hulk
I almost
with
kind of
Amber
want
B.
it for him.
In terms of storytelling, if we're doing like WWE long-term storytelling, the fact that he voted himself off her team and voted her in because he didn't think she could survive in a final, and then she wins said final.
He loses,
and then they get together on Rivals because of that, and then she is the one who delivers him to the finish line in a way that we thought he would have done immediately from coming on the show, is just perfect long-term storytelling, if that's what we get, which would be so fucking delicious.
He's keeping his baby dick in his Baby Hulk pants, and I'm like actually kind of enjoying him a little bit this season. I say it tentatively, but right now he's not pissing me off. Maybe it's because Anissa's really driving that ship, but
I think he's also learned. He's learned and grown. I think he's learned and grown. I think he's done enough of these seasons now where he's just like, I just need to sit by at the beginning of these seasons and wait for other people to do shit. And I'll just kind of hang out. I got a good partner. I'm looking at all these other people. I could be like Frank right now.
Mm-hmm.
I could be like Ashley right now.
Well, and they
fucking gifted me somebody.
Do they have a star? They don't, right? Amber and Baby Hulk?
No.
So I think long-term play, if he does this right, is they kind of sit in like coming in third for a bit. Then they get first. They get the house to vote in the person that they want to take a star from, or somebody that they think is a layup. And then they go in like 2 episodes or 1 episode before the final and get themselves a star. I think he's playing a great long-term play. This is my concern with Devin and Leroy. I think they're flying a little too close to the sun right now.
But there's also a part, if you're Devin and Leroy, being like, hey, if our star is available, I'd rather, I think we said episode 1, just not have a star yet.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of weeks left, but then you get to the point where it's like, okay, we need to win in order to get a star. And honestly, if you're Devin and Leroy, the house is not going to vote you in to get a star at a certain point, which is going to happen with Baby Hulk and Amber B. If we're the house, I go, I'd rather us go against another team and try to keep a good star person here than that, because I don't want to see them in a final right now. That's the team I would like to see the least in a final, honestly, right now. Is those two. Along with, honestly, I'll say it again, Adam and Steve.
Adam and Steve, great. And I think Turbo and the Nani, they're also playing it good. They have a star already, and I feel like they're sitting in the middle with Ashley and Dario too. You know, let's
wrap because we're getting kind of beefy here. Let's get to. I do want to mention that we did ask you guys also, because you didn't give us your previously on winners. We also asked you to do what Turbo's speech would be for Ask of the Week, and honestly, a little disappointed with the community. And who comes in from the heavens to save us? None other than Mr. Moneybag Morales. With a $10 dono, he gave us Turbo's AI'd version of what the speech would be, and it reads as follows. I would like to thank my parents for their genetics and the years of squats and lunges that got me here. I would also like to thank all the people who have stopped to share or offer a compliment. You fueled my fire. Let me try to say that like Turbo. You fueled my fire. And to anyone who's ever doubted the power of a good glute workout, this is proof. Remember, a great ass is a journey, not a destination. Keep grinding, and you too, Mixie, can achieve booty greatness. That's from Mr. Moneybag Morales. I feel like that's a little bit of a dig at you at the end.
Well, it's fine. They don't even know I have legs. So
that's true. I didn't know you had legs for the longest time.
And I'm just going to say, I'm packing. Don't you worry. But
hold on.
Are you? Oh God, what are you going to say?
I got inspired by Mr. Moneybag Morales.
Well, I have a note, and I said it to you, and you showed it to me. Do you remember what I said? Since you did a little dig at me, I have to come with an editing note. Mr. Morales.
Go ahead.
Those were complete sentences.
Oh, yes, you're true. Yes. Those were complete sentences. And, the Turbo does not talk like that.
The Turbo can't talk like that. So
like
maybe a little editing, and I think you're right there. But well done. Well done.
I got inspired and was like, listen, I got some time. Let me throw let me pull up ChatGPT.
Oh.
And let me see what ChatGPT would say.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the prompt I gave ChatGPT. Respond as Turbo's last name, which I'm not even trying to say, and create a brief acceptance speech for winning Ass of the Week. And it just spit it out like it was no chore whatsoever.
Is it beautiful? I need it.
Ladies and gentlemen, legends and losers, gather around because Turbo has done it again. This prestigious Ass of the Week award is not just a trophy. It is a testament to my unmatched ability to cause chaos, talk big, and back it up with style. To my rivals, better luck next time. To my fans, you already knew this was coming. And to the haters, keep watching because this is just the beginning. Turbo does not slow down, doesn't apologize, and definitely doesn't share the spotlight. See you all next week, same time, same place, probably winning again. Turbo out. With the rocket and the emojis, which he puts in a lot of his posts.
Oh, amazing. I'm so glad ChatGPT knows who Turbo is. That makes me feel better about the future of AI.
It did such a good job that I was like, this is alarming.
That is incredible. That is truly incredible. Well, let's do our previously ons. I'm just doing a random fucking shot at the dark at this point. I'm gonna do Devin and Leroy working out together in the workout room.
Okay. In the workout room. I'm gonna go with God. I really want to just like keep guessing Devin and Leroy because there are only a handful of people who can probably keep this up, right? I'm gonna go with Melissa. Do I want to throw her in? I'm gonna go with Melissa and Nicole, and they're gonna be doing some form of like a drinking game or something like that where there's alcohol involved. That's what I'm going with.
Where?
And I'm going to say they're going to be outside.
Outside.
Outside by the pool. Yep. Those are my guesses for next week.
Impressive. Good guesses. I will say the thing I'm noticing is that it is involving partners. So I do think that is a trick of the trade is that it is going to involve partners, but we shall see. Let's get into some other things that have happened in the Right Reality universe here. First and foremost, Frank fell through a floor. Did you guys see this?
It's unbelievable. I saw it. I forget where I saw. I think I saw it on.
You showed it to me, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
He did it. I think as part of a live or something like that. He had said he was doing jumping jacks or something like that. He was working out in this like workout room that they created, and he fell through the floor, and like into what did he call it? The hepatitis river. And had to go to the hospital for a day. And he's got all these scratches and marks on his back that he said are still there. Some of them are still there. So he fell through the floor, and I was like, in the house? Or was it outside? I think it's outside because we saw them
that outside area too. That's why I wanted to talk to you about it. I think it might be that outside area. I found out about this and was so upset that we weren't shown this. You're telling me there's footage of Frank falling through a floor and you're not giving it to us?
I'm sending a message to somebody right now asking if this footage exists.
It's gotta.
I don't believe they have access to this footage. I'm pretty sure they will know whether it exists or not.
I just need to know if it exists or not. And then lastly, Montoya. No.
Oh, can you set this up for the people who are who are not, because unless you've been on the internet and on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram the past couple days, and your algorithm is set up the way ours is, you might have missed Montoya.
So, as you guys know, we here at the number one, when we need to take little breaks from the challenge, because the challenge never sleeps, but sometimes we need to take a little breather. We have been watching and recapping Temptation Island. Fantastic show. Shout out Mr. Marky Mark. Shout out to the fact that it is coming back via Netflix, guys, March 12th. Steven and I are still trying to figure out exactly what that release is going to look like and what we're going to be able to do with it. But Temptation Island is coming back. And I honestly think that this Montoya thing is going to skyrocket the US version of Temptation Island. So basically, as Steven was saying, for those of you not seeing this online, there is a Spanish version of Temptation Island that is currently airing, I guess.
Yes.
Or just finished airing, because I think I saw a clip that looked like a reunion, but I'm not sure. And as you all know from watching Temptation Island, the premise of the show is you come in as a couple, you break up, go to houses with single people, and throughout the weeks that you're there, you watch what each other's doing at these houses. I still am not fully understanding how this happened, but they had like a live feed of this guy's girlfriend as they were starting to have sex. At like the preface of like, are you okay if I stay here? We're going to start doing a little kissing in the bed, a little touchy-feelies.
Which is not usually what we see on our version of Temptation Island. They're very carefully crafted clips that they are being shown together with the boys.
Yeah, like from a day or two prior.
Correct.
We are getting in Spanish Temptation Island, which please pick this up, Mark. Live feed of this guy's girlfriend.
It looked like a live feed, and if not, fantastic editing.
It would have, yes. This guy's girlfriend gets into a bed with this other guy. Guy A, because it's all in Spanish, I don't know. Guy A
Montoya
is watching
Montoya.
Yes, his girlfriend and this other guy start hooking up in this bed. He is freaking the fuck
losing
out.
Ripping
his shirt open. The host is like, hey, yo, chill.
Montoya, por favor. Montoya, por favor.
This motherfucker, Usain Bolts, from the campfire that they're watching this video to. I don't know how he knew which way to go or what the fuck to do. This guy sprints all the way to the girl's house where she is currently while he's running on the beach getting fucked. And I'm not saying, or she's fucking him. She was on top. I'm not saying that like you do you, but it was not like it was.
Yes.
She was getting fucked. And then this guy is sprinting. And then the fucking cameraman is trying to keep up and sprinting with him. No security anywhere. I don't know if they just were like on break or they couldn't keep up. This guy runs all the way up
down
the
beach
to
all the way
the house. I want to know the distance.
Screaming the entire time. And the lady, the Mr. Marky Mark of Spanish Temptation Island, is starting now to like run down the beach as if she's going to catch him.
Yep.
Screaming, Montoya, por favor, the entire time. If you type Montoya into Google right now, the first thing is Montoya, por favor.
It's the memes are amazing. But then he gets there, he's screaming. There's people outside. They start like being like, what the fuck is going on? The girl that's getting fucked hears it, comes down, starts screaming at ex-boyfriend, current boyfriend situation thing. I didn't watch that part in English. I don't know if you did. I still don't understand what happened. Because she came down, started screaming at him. Then she goes back to the people in the house while he's on the beach crying to the host. And then she's in the house with them, like throwing hands, like not throwing hands as in like fighting.
I think
but like
she was saying like, I saw what you were doing. I saw you were with this girl. And I think he was basically being like, yeah, but I wasn't about to get absolutely railed by him. She didn't get in bed with me. We weren't doing it. I mean, we talked that one time on our season where they like were pretty clearly showing them banging. And we're like, I didn't think you could show that. The Spanish version doesn't give a fuck about fucking. They're over the sheets, but it was very clearly pornographic.
You watched her hop off his dick. You
pop, 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 pop. And I was like, oh my God.
You saw her dismount.
Yes.
Full blown, you saw her dismount.
It was unbelievable. I was like, excuse me?
Then she comes back to the house. She's arguing with the people in the house, or I don't even know because it's all in Spanish. Then she starts crying and runs back and starts hugging this guy.
And begging him, being like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Then he was, the best part is, I think at least for me, as somebody who obviously doesn't speak Spanish, you're still getting the emotion, and he's screaming, ¿Por qué? Why? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? And she's just like, she's saying something, and then it dawns on her, like, oh, they have a feed from that camera. I look awful right now. So now she's trying to apologize, and he's basically doing the Spanish version of double birding, being like, you fucking lost out, bitch. You lost out. I'm the best you'll ever have. Have fun with that weird dick who doesn't want you after this. Enjoy your fucking life, you loser. You're going to look like a piece of shit. I'm out. And like starts going back up the thing. And the girl grabs him. And the lady, Marky Mark, goes, you broke the rules, bitch. I saw a translation was like, you can't do that. You broke the rules. You're not allowed to touch him. You broke the rules. There's going to be consequences for this. And I'm like, there should be no consequences. This is the best part of reality television ever. People are calling this one of the greatest moments in reality TV show history.
Oh, it's amazing. And here's the thing, guys. If you haven't been watching Temptation Island with us, it's not that far off from this. Now, is there running and screaming in a beach? No. But outside of the like, this is as good as what Temptation Island is. It's not as, this is a fantastic clip. But like, this is what I'm expecting from Mr. Marky Mark this season. If it's on Netflix, we're getting some good.
Getting some good. So I'm reading like a recap, and one of these was like Montoya was getting a lap dance from somebody. I heard about the lap dance.
Yeah, She saw the lap dance, so she went and got railed by another guy. Yeah.
All I'm saying is Mr. Marky Mark's like, this might be the best / worst thing that's ever happened to this version of Temptation Island, because people are going to expect this now.
Yeah, and they already shot it. So, but
this clip that I just played on X, February 4th, 4 days ago, guess how many views it has?
15 million.
202 million views.
God, it's I think this is gonna, I think this is gonna help Temptation Island Netflix March 12th. Mark your calendars.
Very close. Maybe they need to roll up that premiere date really quick now.
I mean, they should be using this to help them for sure.
They should just say, hey, it's dropping next week now. Out of nowhere. Be like, you want it? Here it is.
I don't think that's a bad idea. But
capitalize.
Now this has gotten me so fucking excited for Temptation Island to come back. I've been waiting. We've been waiting so patiently.
I feel like
Netflix,
I'm going to get a
baby.
Montoya Por Favor short made this weekend somehow. I just need it. I want to be the first one to have a Montoya Por Favor shirt ready to go.
Oh, I'm sure they're made. I'm sure if you Google it, they already exist.
Montoya Por Favor.
But yeah, anyways, we will be doing something for Temptation Island, probably. We can't miss it. But that is it for this episode. Sorry it went so long. We were all over the place. Lots of things to discuss. We will be back next week with episode 4. Make sure you are following us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Twitter. We're going crazy over there on Twitter. And we love you so much. So we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.